Buy now, cry later. The immense history of the land swindle, the desert and swamp land scams of the American fiasco, the debacle and scandals of bank robbing, bank looting, savings and loans, scheming and scamming, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, HUD, FHA robbing, and the dirt dealing. The Clintons, the Bushes, Charlie Keating, good old freaking Andrew Farkas and Lee Farkas, just to name a couple, and them boys from the Western Bank in Houston, Texas, good old Western Bank, RLG, Rita Lababetti Group, Westgate Investments, and the Purple Capital Gang of the Lababetti Mafia and the CIA. Now, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's heard of the giant pandemic, scamdemic, the great big huge threat to mankind's future in the world. Just another great big huge distraction being run by the corporate news media, because they don't want you to look any kind of in-depth examination of the massive dirt dealing land swindles and flips. Yeah, the land swindles and flips, the dirt scheming and scamming of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Oh, and the 90s, and the early 2000s. You see, ladies and gentlemen, buy now, pay later. It's all about land swindle schemes in the 1970s in Arizona, California, Florida, Utah. Utah's got massive real estate frauds. And you know something? Christopher Wray and Christopher Schwecker, Mr. Schwecker, from Houston FBI. Boy, there's one for you, Chris Schwecker. Yep, you worked for the Houston FBI, didn't you? And then, of course, you investigated the United States government for its tortures during the most recent desert storms, right? The environmental manipulations, you covered that all up too, didn't you, Schwecker? Yeah, buddy. American military tortures, and Schwecker, what'd you do with all that information, Schwecker? Did you put it in a garbage disposal? Yeah, the cleaner, the whitewasher, Schwecker. I don't give a damn if you don't like it, Schwecker. We need to talk about dirt dealing and bank robbing with real estate schemes and scams, the old red flag unrecorded ghost paper, Ponzi scam land developments like the Whitewater, the Castle Grande, and the Clinton land swindles. Yeah, buddy. It wasn't just the Clintons. They had their buddy Gary Morrow, the Texas land commissioner. He was in it up to their freaking eyeballs, along with the LDS Mormon Church up in Utah, with Far West Bank and Zion's Bank and that whole bunch of scumbags from Select Portfolio Services and Credit Suisse. Isn't that fascinating? The giant land schemes and giant land scams of Utah history were orchestrated out of Switzerland, the same place where Select Portfolio Services is owned by Credit Suisse. Fascinating stuff, isn't it? Schwecker. Now, we go back into the 1930s and 40s. There's this old movie called The Con. It's all about a land scheme, a land scam. The Con. And that brings us up to date with Patrick Lovell and the bunch from Red Dot Digital and the who you call that? I can't even remember that guy's name. He's Professor William Black, old Bill Blacks, and Catherine Austin Fitz and Linda Miner. What we need to talk about here, ladies and gentlemen, is the massive history of real estate swindling, dirt dealing, bank robbing, looting FHA, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac with all kinds of bogus subprime mortgage, subprime foreclosure schemes. Yeah, the old subprime foreclosure scheme, laundering money for the dirtiest banks in the history of the world, laundering money for all those dirty banks in Europe and in Switzerland. and in Chicago and Los Angeles and Houston and Salt Lake City and Miami and Orlando, up there in the Panhandle. Yep. Panama City, Florida, Milton, Florida. That whole bunch of land swindlers from the Carolinas and Pennsylvania. Let's not leave the Pocono Mafia out of this. Now, in summation, ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Schwecker, the Houston FBI agent, isn't that interesting, Schwecker? You worked in Houston. Fascinating stuff. I'll bet you knew Nelda Luce Radabow Blair, didn't you, Chris Schwecker? Yeah, you did. And let's see, Mark Thurnbull and Judge Barb Sadler and the whole gang up there in Conroe and Monkey County, where they do the land scheming and scamming, right? Christopher Schwecker. Mueller and Comey are worthless trash, just like the Clintons and the Bushes and the Obamas, Eric Holder, Loretta Lynch, Christopher Wray. You suck, buddy. You suck, Chris Wray. How many trillions have they looted out of the banking system using these real estate schemes and real estate scams and all this money laundering crap? Yeah, there you go. So yeah, buy now, cry later. And the great Texas bank job, toxic, zombie developments. I told you so. I told all of you so.